Welcome back to The Explainer. You know, we spend so much time looking out into the universe, searching for these advanced, awe-inspiring systems. But today, we're actually looking inward. We're going to explore the human body as this incredibly advanced, totally self-managing biological machine. Because honestly, it is, without a doubt, an absolute biological masterpiece. So, what's your body doing right now at this exact second? I mean, really think about it. You might feel like you're just sitting there watching this explainer, maybe breathing quietly, but right beneath your skin, there's literally a universe of invisible miracles going on. We're talking massive, hyper-complex operations happening without a single conscious thought from you. Just take right this very second. Your heart is pumping blood through roughly 100,000 kilometers of vessels. Your brain? It's generating enough electricity to literally power a small light bulb. Down in your stomach, you're producing acid strong enough to dissolve metal. Oh, and millions of your cells are dying and being completely replaced right now as I'm speaking. It's a scale of engineering it's hard to even fathom. So let's count down the top 5 most amazing human body facts that sound completely fake, but are absolutely true. Kicking things off with fact number 5, bones stronger than steel. Human bone is just an absolute masterpiece of engineering. It totally flips how we think about structural strength. Because, when we think of bones, we tend to think they're fragile, right? Like they break. But look at the actual numbers. A single cubic inch of bone can withstand roughly 19,000 pounds of pressure. Pound for pound, your bones are actually stronger than a lot of types of steel. So you're probably wondering, why do they break when steel wouldn't? Well, it all comes down to design. See, steel is rigid. It's lifeless. But bone is this highly flexible, living tissue packed with cells that are constantly repairing and rebuilding it. And that flexibility is exactly what makes your skeletal system so incredibly efficient. And this brings us to the wild diversity inside your 206-bone skeleton. On one hand, you've got the concrete-like strength of the femur. That's your thigh bone. It can literally support up to 30 times your own body weight. But then, on the other extreme, you have the stapes bone tucked way deep inside your ear. It's only 3 millimeters long. So you've got one bone acting as this heavy-duty, indestructible support pillar, and another that's tiny and delicate enough to catch whispers. It's just wild. Moving right along to fact number 4, Earth-spanning blood highways. So, we're shifting from structural engineering to this crazy, autonomous transportation network that is running 24/7 right inside of you. 100,000. That's the number of kilometers your blood vessels would span if you were to, say, take every single artery, vein, and tiny capillary out of your body and stretch them end to end. Just let that sheer scale sink in for a second. You have enough blood vessels inside of you, right now, to wrap around the entire Earth more than 2 times. I mean, you've got a biological highway system in there that's larger than most countries. And your blood travels through this massive network ridiculously fast. Actually, a complete circulation through your entire body happens in under 1 single minute. And the fluid running through these highways? It is a masterclass in efficiency. You've got red blood cells carrying oxygen, white ones acting as your defense system, platelets to clot up any cuts, and plasma acting as the river transporting the whole shebang. To keep all this moving, your absolute hardest working organ, the heart, is beating 100,000 times a day, pumping a staggering 7,500 liters of blood. And since red blood cells only live for about 120 days or so, your body is churning out 2 million new ones every single second just to keep the highways fully stocked. All right, fact number 3, the metal-dissolving stomach. Look, we usually just think of our stomach as, a storage bag for lunch, but it's actually this incredibly powerful chemical processing chamber. Just look at this extreme pH scale. It really shows you how terrifyingly strong the hydrochloric acid inside you actually is. So battery acid sits right around a 1 on the pH scale, lemon juice is about a 2, and your stomach acid, it's sitting right there in that intense danger zone, between 1.5 and 3.5. It is quite literally powerful enough to dissolve certain metals. Which naturally brings up a pretty big question. If you are walking around with a vat of acid in your core that can dissolve metal, why doesn't your stomach just digest itself? The answer is honestly one of biology's ultimate defense mechanisms. First, your stomach produces a really thick layer of mucus to shield the tissue. But here's the real kicker, the absolute genius of this biological automation. Because that crazy strong acid is constantly damaging the walls anyway, your stomach completely replaces its own lining every few days. Think about that. Imagine having to rebuild the walls of your house every single week just to survive. That is exactly what your stomach is doing for you right now. And the crazy thing is, the digestive system isn't just about acid, it's about intelligence. It literally contains over 100 million nerve cells. This whole complex network down there, it's called the enteric nervous system, actually has more neurons than your spinal cord. That's exactly why scientists call it the body's second brain. Moving on to fact number 2, your electric brain. Shifting our focus from the chemical processing chamber up to the original brain, one of the most powerful and efficient electrical systems on planet Earth. We've got 86 billion neurons up there, powering our consciousness, our habits, our dreams. And the storage capacity? It's estimated at a mind-blowing 2.5 petabytes. That is millions of gigabytes. But get this, the energy required to run this massive supercomputer? Barely 20 watts. Seriously, that's less power than a standard household light bulb. The extreme efficiency of this organ is just unparalleled in the tech world. And man, is it fast. 430 kilometers per hour. That's the blistering speed these electrochemical signals are traveling at through your brain. When you accidentally touch a hot stove, the signal fires, your brain processes it, and your hand pulls back, all at literal race car speeds in fractions of a second. But here's a pretty surprising twist for you. Does the brain feel pain? The very organ that processes every single ache, sting, and burn your body ever experiences has absolutely zero pain receptors itself. None. It physically cannot feel pain, which is exactly why surgeons can literally operate on a patient's brain while the patient is sitting there fully awake. Crazy, right? And finally, we're at fact number 1, the endless rebuilding process. We've reached the climax of our explainer, and honestly, the most unbelievable fact on this entire list is that you are not physically the same person you were just a few years ago. Take the automatic healing of a simple cut on your skin as an example of how incredibly dynamic your body is. Almost instantly, blood clots start forming. White blood cells rush in to fight off any infection, new tissue grows, and the skin just rebuilds itself. It's so automatic, we completely take it for granted. But this kind of cellular division is happening everywhere. In fact, organs like your liver are so dynamic that they can fully regenerate even if up to 75% of their mass is removed. To quote a really profound idea, you are not a fixed machine. You are a constantly rebuilding biological masterpiece. I mean, from your intestinal lining renewing every couple of days, to your skin totally replacing itself every few weeks, right down to your literal skeleton rebuilding itself, massive, massive portions of your entire physical body are entirely replaced every 7 to 10 years. Which brings us to one final, slightly mind-bending question to wrap up our explainer today. If nearly every single cell in your body is dying off and being replaced every decade, are you even the exact same person who started watching this explainer a few minutes ago? It's a bit of an existential question, I know, but it really leaves you completely awestruck about this living, breathing, constantly evolving wonder that you carry around with you every single day. Thanks so much for joining me on this incredible journey inward, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.